Welcome to the Top Gun Show. Today I have a very special guest, Aaron Brown, who's the president of the Comtel Group in Southern California. Every once in a while I come across somebody in this profession in the telecom space that has an incredible story to tell. So I wanted to help you tell it. So welcome to the show.
Thanks, Steve. Good
All
to
right.
see you.
Yeah, you too, man.
Thanks for having me.
So why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about the space that you play in, you know, what the breadth of services that you provide to your clients.
Okay, so we play in the telecom and IT service provider space. Providers that deliver services like internet, voice, SD-WAN, UCaaS, security, mobility.
The standard culprits, right?
Yeah,
Of
all the
making
stuff,
a network great.
all
Yeah.
the stuff that every business is dependent on for lifeblood.
Right. Good stuff. And, you know, I think most of our viewers know, they think, oh, I could go direct and get better pricing, but then I got to interview 4 or 5 different salespeople that are all trying to push their own stuff on me, or they can go to the indirect channel, right? And you know, contact a traditional telecom sales broker that'll say, well, I've got options. I can bring 3 or 4 options to the table for you. You guys play very differently than that. Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about what makes the Comtel Group unique?
Yeah, thanks. It's fair to say that there's probably 10,000 sales guys out there that sell
At
the
least.
services and solutions that we sell. However, I guess the difference for us is start with the why. And for us, some have called me obsessed, others OCD. My favorite is passionate, and we're a little obsessed with the experience. And what I find is that most IT leaders that I talk to in the space are less than satisfied when they engage either a salesperson or a service provider in terms of their overall experience. They may be satisfied with the solution at the end of the day, but the experience is substandard. And so our whole methodology is driven to deliver a world-class experience, make it pain-free, make it relatively seamless for the customer. We do all the heavy lifting. And so it starts with, we've been around 30 years and we developed our own audit software, which allows us to go in and audit the client environment really effortlessly for the customer. And so by then first understanding everything they own, all their resources, how they're utilizing it, then we're able to go in and then build the experience based off of that, combined with some subject matter expertise. We've thought about every aspect of their experience from end to end.
Right. So other people throw out, oh, we provide white glove service. You guys do it like on steroids.
Yeah, and I'd say, you know, it comes from, again, knowing their entire environment, number one, knowing their business drivers and objectives, and then correlating those to the technologies that serve them. So really, you know, one of the things we talk a lot about is reverse engineering.
Yeah. So you really find out what's going on with the customer, what their initiatives are, what's good for them versus walking in and going, I got a solution to sell you, whether it fits or not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are incredible at that.
Yeah, and I'd say that like you said, they've got 2 options. They can go to a direct salesperson who their stick is, hey, we're the best provider in town.
Right.
And a consultant says, hey, I can get you all the providers. We say, look, that's secondary. The providers you select and talk about are secondary. It's really about what their business needs are, then what their technological needs are, and that usually leads to a specification, or what we like to call the perfect spec or an optimized spec.
Yeah.
Then we take that and shop that to the providers that match that, and that gives us a more optimized solution for the customer.
Yeah, you've built a great back office here
Yeah.
and techniques.
Well, and the spec is just the first thing.
Yeah.
You know, it starts with, you know, what they need to consume, and then how are you going to implement that? So then we talk about, you know, what we call migration science. And that's a whole methodology around how do you deliver a seamless experience in the migration, because that's where 80-90% of the risk is and the pain is in the experience in consuming these service providers.
Right.
So how do we make that effortless for the customer? We do everything.
Yeah.
We don't want them to have to lift a finger.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I always like to close an episode with something personal, but not too personal. There are millions
Yeah.
and millions of people watching this
Yeah.
right now.
Right.
So tell the viewers a little known fact about Aaron Brown.
Well, I'm not that interesting, but my family is. So I'm the father of 4, ranging from 15 down to 7. And my 12-year-old recently got involved with pageants. So I've got 3 girls and a boy. My 15-year-old got involved in pageants. She drugged my wife and my youngest daughter into the pageant with her because she didn't want to do it by herself. So we're not a pageant family. We kind of had a little bit of prejudice around, what goes on in these pageants. It turned out to be a really positive experience. My daughter, my teenager, drug my wife, and she won first runner-up, and my wife won Mrs. Southern California Cities, and my youngest daughter won Little Miss Southern California Cities. So I'm in the presence of royalty daily, apparently.
You pretty much wait on them hand and foot, right?
I try to leave the room bowing and curtsying as I walk out.
Great, feed them grapes. Right on, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks for being on the show today, Aaron.
Thanks, Steve.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.